Hi, sorry about that. I got cut off. And how super weird is that? It cuts off at just finishes, stops. 9 minutes and 43 seconds. Nining is nine is the of course the end of a cycle and the start of a new one, which relates to the Ace of Pentacles. 43 is I love you. And then I'm looking at the clock and it's 11:11. I was like, okay, I guess you wanted it to stop at that point for, So the next part is, so basically it's about leaving the guilt behind and seeing you're basically reliving that kind of childlike wonder. Being careful of how we speak our truths and always do it with compassion. Keep believing in the dream and know that dreams are coming true. And then it is the Two of Pentacles, which is about, this is so in keeping with the message this morning about this timing thing. And so sometimes humans get caught up in a vicious vortex of more, better, faster. Uncontrolled growth is reckless, dangerous, and irresponsible. Or sometimes life just throws a lot at us. The Two of Pentacles suggests a balanced, slow approach. Part of the balance includes being very aware of how your actions in this world affect the spirit world. If your projects and actions are not rooted in spirit, they will not manifest in a healthy manner. Take a breath, slow down, pay attention, and see what you are really doing and what is really happening in your life. Now, this is so, again, the letter this morning was from the Twin Spirit was saying, place your hand on your heart and feel me with you and call me to you and ask me what guidance you need. And so that is very much in line with this, because it's saying, look, the actions that you do, if they are rooted in spirit, they will grow well. And you just need to, like a tree, you just plant the seed and you know it's going to grow. In the same way, that's what it's saying. It's saying about, basically trusting, right, that it's all going to be growing in the correct way. Now, the next one is the hermit. And this is about, in order to do that, you've got to go within because you have to trust. So the hermit card shows up when it is time to withdraw from the world and do some soul searching. This can mean a time for recharging your batteries so you have the energy to jump back into your busy life refreshed. More often it means going within and looking for your own truth, which isn't as easy as it sounds. You will face dragons such as your own ego, the expectations of others, your most cherished desires, or your worst fears. You will gain confidence born of certainty and wisdom earned in struggle. While the hermit isn't technically a teacher, as with the hierophant, others will learn from you as your life becomes a walking testament to the treasures you find in the dark. Which I love, because if you are going through a challenging time, it was like yesterday's message, it's like that's when you find your light. If you don't go through the dark, you'd never know that you were looking for the light. So that's why that message is really powerful, because it's saying, look, all of that is happening for a reason. And like they said for the Queen of Swords, it's like she's able to speak. She might be quite cutting, but she'll do it compassionately because she's really lived, right? And so and that's what is so important to know, that, unless you have gone through a dark tunnel, you're never going to look for the light. And so that's what this message is saying. So the next one is the High Priestess. And this is what we come to, right? The High Priestess. And lovely, because then we get to kind of say we've come out being the Hierophant, which is kind of, the daddy. So when the High Priestess shows up in a reading, it often means you already know the answer or advice you are seeking. The moon and the lunar moths represent intuition and otherworldly knowledge. In other words, they are the information or certainty you have that is based on no apparent or logical reason. You are encouraged to trust your dreams, intuition, and psychic impressions. If you honestly believe that you do not know, then there is another answer the High Priestess offers. She is also the being who leads you to an initiation. If this is the case, then you are meant to face the situation without knowing what will happen. It is the nature of initiation to be transformed by the experience without preconceived ideas or expectations. The journey itself holds an important life lesson for you. As you move forward, the High Priestess would advise you to rely on your own inner wisdom and pay close attention. Well, I mean, just how kind of, what a beautiful message again, because, you know, this kind of little story that they said is the twin flame journey, isn't it, really? Because it's like, find the gift that the universe is wanting to give you by looking through the eyes of a child. Be able to speak your truth, but do it with compassion and be careful about what you're saying. Believe in your dreams. Know that, you know, you plant a seed and then you have to trust in that it will grow. In order to keep that trust, you've got to go within. When you go within, you see the insights and you follow your intuition. And then you may not know the answers, but that is where you find your trust, because ultimately, through doing that and through going through that process, you become the hierophant. So, I mean, just amazing. So the hierophant indicates a time of teaching and learning, for the two are intertwined. And so this is the culmination of the twin flames, of your twin flame and you. Through going through that process and that journey, you realize that you're intertwined with your twin, and you are both the master and the teacher for each other, which I just love. Even though you may be technically the teacher, you are also learning, and every student gives their teacher something the instructor did not have before. If you are called to teach, formally or otherwise, give your knowledge freely and with a light hand. Let your students explore your offerings and blend them into their own history and create their own unique wisdom. If playing the role of student, be an active participant, measuring the instruction against your own experiences and beliefs. Whatever part you play, at the end of the day, the only common lesson is to dance your wisdom. In other words, walk your talk. Oh my God. So this is, you know, what I was saying in the message this morning was about that thing about timing. When will I come into my union? You know, ultimately what this card has just said is walk your talk, right? So create the life as if you are already with your twin. That is how energetically you are setting the framework for it, right? Because walk the talk, you know, find your passion, live your passion, follow your dream. Basically, that's what this is saying. Follow your dream, speak your truth, go within, meditate, you know, realize that it's in the hands of the universe. Trust that you're energetically teaching each other, and use the moon cycle to help you do that. The moon also, this card, I'll finish with reading the card, because again, it is it's basically about being careful about what you're listening to. Are you listening to your fears, or are you listening to your heart? So while the situation may be, I'll just read a little bit of it, because while the situation that you're in may be confusing to the conscious mind, you might be surprised that these encounters in the dark help you see your unconscious desires very clearly. Once you tap into that wisdom, knots become unraveled and riddles are solved. So again, it's saying, you know, just like the messages from this week actually about, you know, you have to, we are all creating more and more of what we dream by living, you know, and experiencing what we don't want, right? And so that's why it's saying, you know, be careful, like when you're going through this journey, is, you know, keep creating the dream of what you do want. And then when you're in the tunnel and you feel in the dark, that is the time to find the light, right? And so it's about appreciating that challenge, because that challenge has come for you to dream bigger, basically. So I just love that, because I thought, you know, ultimately we become the hierophant through this process, and it is the intertwining of the teacher and the master. And that is what you and your twins' energies are doing together. You are the teacher and the master for each other. So I just thought I would share it because it's lovely. But ultimately, you know, it is the Ace of Pentacles, which is like a new, fresh beginning. And you know, the spirit animal of the possum is about reliving their childhood wonder, you know, releasing all of this adult stuff that we carry around of guilt and shame and all of that stuff, and just getting on with having a good time in whatever way you can, and trusting, you know, just like the message of the Two of Pentacles is the seed has been planted, now you just need to wait for it to bloom. All right, well, I hope that helps. Take care. If you want to have a letter, a reading, or a healing, please do. If you want to join the look at what just came up as well, the fox. Always use the power of the fox, and the fox is the Ace of Wands, which is spirituality, which is basically saying the fox will help come, which is the fox helps your spirit come into your physical, right? So helps your spiritual reunion come into your physical. So, and just again, 1111, just as I said that. So 1111 all over the place, and I hope that helps. Take care. Bye.